So Jinja to template, you can actually create based on Ansible variables. You can based on Ansible variables, you can generate any files like text files or anything like that. So some of the example, say, just start with one playbook. Okay, so I have like just call it like test playbook test.yml. Okay, YML or YAML both are fine. So I start with this, and then I say name. Name is as usual. Name is mostly for debug, not really it's very important or anything like this. So name, I say want to test templates. Okay, I want to test templates. And if you want to use there is a like there are, if you have gone through some of the documentation of Ansible, like most of the things are available as module. Everything is a like inbuilt module or a third-party module. So one module is like copy. So if I want to use copy, what I do is I say source. I say source equal to, say, my file name, say mock.py, and I say dst dest equal to, say, /temp. Okay, something like this. And before that, I want to tell that which host I want to use. So I will say host will be this IP address of the VM. What is the IP of the VM? Ansible host. So yeah, this one. Copy, paste. So here, so what I want to do, I want to go here. So again, if you are using any code block beginning, so host, if it's inside this host, so we have to give indent this guy. It has to be aligned, like just like Python in the YML, you have to be aligned with spaces and do not use any tab. So if I say this, say that mock.py and put there. So let's see what happens is. First, make sure the file is there. I say Ansible playbook. But yeah, again, we have to tell the, remember last time we had to tell what kind of user we want to use. So first thing we have to check is whether the server is accessible or not. Yes, it is accessible, but I have only root user. Yeah, it is not a keyless. So how we did with the key? So we have to add the key so that we can have a keyless authentication. So SSH copy ID to this guy. So it is copy. If I do root at the rate, if I do the same SSH again, yeah, it works. So right now, the whole thing what I did was copy the SSH key so that it works without asking the password. So next thing I'll do is Ansible playbook, just run the playbook, see what happens. It's asking for, this is my sudo password actually. So again, it is a syntax error problem. So syntax, this is very annoying thing. You will, once you work with this, you realize. So somehow I didn't like my syntax. So name, maybe you should just do host this. I can maybe do a tasks, and then do another. Like it. Why is asking sudo for everything? Yeah, this is the one we used, right, last time. Playbook. So let's modify this. Name, hosts, yes, same thing. What was the name of the place? Yeah. So if it is kind for syntax, let's copy this whole thing here. So it looks like it wants name first and then. So if I say name, I want to say copy a file. Okay. Remote user is this. And so first task of this guy will be to copy src mock.py dest equal to /10. Okay. Somehow it doesn't like it. Yeah, this works. Somehow there is some space and it doesn't like it. So there was some space. I'm not able to figure it out. But usually you will, these kind of problem will find. Whenever you're doing initial, if you're writing any YML file from scratch, you will find this kind of problem a lot because it is extremely picky with space and tab. Even if you have one space somewhere, and the problem is the error message is not very helpful. It actually complaining somewhere, but the error might be somewhere else. Unlike markup language, you can actually figure out exactly which tag is missing or has an issue. But this one, in this case, it is a bit difficult. So let's work with this thing. So I say copy a file and task will be, say copy src equal to mock.py dist equal to 10. It says, let's see, AC Linux copy binding. Okay, so we have to disable AC Linux on the target machine for now. So actually we can do the same thing with Ansible also. First ask it to disable AC Linux. So say I'll say disable AC Linux. So I say shell, oh, shell set enforce. You guys know what is AC Linux?
Yeah.
Okay. AC Linux is nothing but a security layer on top of Linux kernel file system. It actually stops any process from using any other process context-based file. This was mainly designed for your like web server keeping in mind, because assume what happens if you're using a web server and your web server goes rogue. Something happened, some other remote software takes control of the web server, then it will be able to destroy the whole server. But with SE Linux enable, if the web server has done something wrong, it can only corrupt or do anything whatever file which have a web server context. If you do not have web server context, it will simply deny the access. So it's kind of your advanced version of antivirus, you can say. Because this guy is still not happy for some target user SE Linux Python binding I want to install. So I think we have to install this guy on the target machine. So let's install something here. Name installing Python SE Linux binding yum name and execute this guy. So installing binding. Yeah, so if I go here on temp, you find, see, mock.file is there. So it is just we are copying a file, it's doing no magic. But now, say if I want to change something in the file, if I want to make this same mock.py file, whatever it is, say I want to make it, say I want to make this as a variable. Okay, so what will I do is I'll say simply, say I want to put my name. Okay, I'll say my name. And I close it. And now only thing I have to do is I have to change the file name mock.j2. So it's actually the Jinja 2 the extension is not mandatory, but it's always better to have it. So because when you're writing a lot of code, say if you have usually once your Ansible code base increases, you have a lot of files and templates, so it's very easy to differentiate. So when I say J2, so now this becomes a template. And one thing, but now we have to tell Ansible that this is a template, this is not a file. To do that, we have to use a template module. It's just called template. And nothing else changes. You say src destination, but now say what happens if I run it as it is? Let's see what happens. See, a throw error, but it says, but no such file or directory. Okay, no file was there. So even if I say change the name, okay, J2. Let's comment everything else so that takes less time. Yeah, see what happens is, it says Ansible undefined variable my name. Why? Because we never defined the variable. So if I want to just quickly define a variable, I can do like say, I will say vars and my name. I'll say, okay. Now try what happens. See, it copied the file. See, now if I go here, I check the file. See, it changed the name. So this is a very simple example of how using template you can keep one file and you can actually templatize based on the variable. This is a very good example of, say, if you want to install 10 web servers, okay, and each web server, they have their own Apache config file, and in the config file there are many things that you want to change inside the file. Maybe every server has a different directory, or maybe every server. Obviously, first thing, if you want to run, if you're running a virtual host, you have to give that IP address on the virtual host, syntax. So what the simplest example is, you just temporarize that virtual host server name with some kind of variable. So what it does is it gives you power to do with the same file, you can do multiple things. So we can actually, this is a very simple example I did, but now you can actually run loops also. Say if you have a big list or anything, and one more interesting thing you'll find about this template is these are actually, when you, the moment you say this is a Jinja2 template, actually this file becomes more like a pseudo auto code generator. You can do pretty much everything here. You can actually use the, because this is a string and Jinja2 is also written in Python, Ansible is also in Python. So you can see, you can use many of the string attributes for this thing. So maybe you can actually use, let me try, maybe you can use this. You can use, say, lower. Okay, let's try what happens with lower. Does it work? Yeah, let's check what is the output here. See, it worked. So the beauty here is that the moment with the Jinja2 template, you can do almost everything, whatever you can do with the Python string operation on the fly with while you're copying a template. So
Chandan, what is like lower you put like in place of my name?
yeah, because
Content.
okay, so what I said, that the moment when you say variable, and variable is everything is string in Ansible.
Okay.
And when you say string, so string obviously it has inbuilt from, if you are coming from Python or any kind of object-oriented language. So we have like string is object. So if you can do a lot of operation to the string. So string has inbuilt functions like lower, upper, split, strip. So all whatever you can do on the string on a Python, you can do everything on this template. That was the example to show.
Okay, so it make lower, right? Lower.
Yeah, lower. It is actually equivalent to this thing. If I type Python, if I say ss equal to something like this, if I say
Okay, I got it. Okay.
ss dot lower.
Okay, so make lowercase.
It's
Okay.
lowercase. So it's not the it's not the importance of the function. It is important that how powerful that variable becomes once it goes inside this thing. And same thing you can do in the Ansible also. So any variable you are using it, you can use and manipulate as if it is a string.
Okay.
So once you start writing more and more modules, you can see how complex it can go. Actually, I can show you some of the examples that folder. Oh, this is not available. Say like, and the looping style is also very similar to if you want to use loop. Next lecture we'll discuss about loop and how to do template inside loop, because I don't think anybody's today here. Everybody's here. Godfrey didn't join, right? So this is a, you're using, say, this one, and actually say if I want to use a some kind of what happened? Hello?
Yeah.
No, actually my PC was stuck. So if I say, I call it my list, okay? My list, first is name one, name2, name3. So what I did right now, if you want to declare a simple variable like simple string variable, it will be like you give a variable name colon and the variable value. But if you want to declare some kind of list you usually use in case of say you have multiple hosts and if you have multiple directories to check. So in this case, this is a typical syntax of declaring a list variable in Ansible. So you give the variable name, whatever the name, colon, and you give a dash and then space and the name, one name2. And this actually, the same syntax supports dictionary as well. So I can actually do pretty much like this also. I can do this name, say like this. Okay, I can do this, say, okay. So, but whenever you give a colon, you have to always give a space. So there are many, one is like, I should call it my dictionary. My dictionary is this. I call it, say my list will be like something like this. List1, list2, and list3. So here what I did, I declared a list and declared a list, a kind of a list of dictionaries, a list which has multiple dictionaries. So these also you can use, and using the looping style is the same as you use any like, let's go inside the template file. Template file is here. Okay, so okay, so say this is the template file. Okay, and the template really doesn't care anything whatever you write in the text. It just ignores everything. It will only pay attention to wherever you have it find these delimiters. Only there it will pay attention. So if I let's clean up the whole file so that it's easy to understand. So say first thing what I'll do is I'll just print my name. Okay, this is my variable. So I can call it like variable testing equal to this. So it will replace this. And now if I did say variable list, okay, if I say list, if I say this guy, my list, okay, and say variable dictionary, then it becomes my, okay. So let's run the playbook right now. What happens? I was just getting the point of like, I mean, why we need template to begin with. Second thing, what we can do with the template and what is the variable, what is the importance of it. Hello? See what happened. So when I say a variable, it actually printed the variable, it printed the list as it is, and it printed the dictionary as it is. And now look at the next step. Next step, what we can do is, this was simple. Okay, now I'll say, are you guys understanding the concept of template or not? Hello?
The output actually we don't understand the output.
What
Template I got the idea what you're doing, but
yeah.
when you execute the code,
Yeah.
you show me the output. So I don't understand like.
Okay. So see what is it? So you should say if you don't tell me, I won't understand, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what is happening here? in the playbook, what I'm telling this playbook, see, first thing is name is for debug. Host, I'm telling run the playbook against this host. Okay. Third thing I'm telling become root user. And
Yep.
here I declared bunch of variables. You understood this part?
Yeah, this part is okay.
Bunch of variables. And second, what I'm asking this guy, what is this task? Task is
installing
to execute one template file. Okay, execute template. So when I say execute template, I'm using, this is a debug, but what I'm doing, I'm using this template module. The moment I say template module, and if whatever I give as source, Ansible takes this file as a template file. Okay, and it goes inside the template file and tries to find whatever is in between these braces. And then whatever is inside these braces, it considers them as a variable. And now it tries to find the variable in the playbook or in the inventory or anywhere. So whatever it finds there, it just does a copy paste. It's just a replacement template, this and file, copy paste. So what happens is when I say this template, what I'm telling you this guy, source is this mock.j2 and destination, say if I say my mock.file or something, mock.txt. So what it does, it takes this template, runs the replacement and replaces this file over here on this host. Are you getting this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is what it is doing. So far what we did, we just tested example of how we can just print or just use a variable inside a template. Second thing, now we just a quick view of how to use loop. So we can use like looping example. Okay. So whatever I write in this template file, which doesn't have curly braces, they are taken as it is. The code, the Ansible or Jinja 2 template doesn't touch anything. So if I want to run a loop, you have to start a code context, like you have to start a code block. So code block starting is because it is a template. So for template, you have to tell this guy how to start it, how to do it. So if I want to tell Jinja that this is my code block, this is not the variable, so don't replace anything here. So if I want to do that, I'll use this %. I'll say for each, I think for each is like this. For each, it goes exactly the way we used to run Python loops. Python loops, how you used to do is for I in something. Bash loop, how you run for I in some list. So this guy says for each, I think it's for each is one word. We'll figure out for each, and you have to give some item. Say I say list item, anything, list item in say my list. So whenever I say this code block like this, so Jinja 2 knows this is not the find replace thing. This is my code part. So now I just print it. Says I just do like this list item, and then again you have to tell that end of. It is exactly like your bash. Bash, you say file, if then file. You do for, you do, then do and done. It's like same thing. So end of for. End of file. I forgot actually the syntax. You can find Jinja 2 for loop. Yeah, for item in. Oh, it's exactly the Python style. I mean, there is no change at all. So for item in this, and you have to just add this thing end for. So if I do this and let's run it. Now let's check it, what happens. More. What happened? Oh, it didn't print it. Any guess why it didn't print the variable? Any guess? Hello? Good morning. Anybody?
Sorry.
Are you sleeping? Okay. So any guess, like why did you understand the why I was writing the loop?
Yeah, to print different times, 4 or 5
Yeah.
times.
To print actually not 4 or 5 times, to actually print these content of this list variable.
Yep.
Okay. So the goal was to whatever was here. See, I wanted to print list 1, list 2, list 3, but instead what I got list item, list item, list item.
So you did different. You didn't define the variable, right?
Yeah, variable, everything is defined. The problem was I didn't tell Jinja template to print the variable. If you do not have curly braces, so it takes text. So I didn't do this. So I have to do like this. Now if I do this, now it will figure out. It will find out. Executing the template. Now you see list 1, list 2, list 3. So this is an example, like whatever you did, like if you whatever you're doing in a Python programming, you practice or whatever, there's a reason of knowing any programming language. Because what happens is if you go learn any new kind of technique or a language or template engine, anything, they're all similar. Then you will start picking up things intuitively rather than actually mugging up something like that. So do you guys understand this part? It is just as you are running a Python loop. It is as good as like for I in anything.
Yeah, okay. I don't know about others.
Again, whenever you do a session, at least before or maybe after, just do some practice. If you don't do practice and if you don't take you have to practice it, otherwise it won't work. So so what we can do is next time I'll go through Ansible loops and more loops on the template, and some will take up some practical examples. Like you can come up with your day-to-day job. One example that you told me about this this disk check thing. This is one, and anything else if you can think of. Any practical problem you are facing and you think that should be deployed across multiple servers, we can actually simulate it. So next Saturday we are not doing, so this we are skipping this week. So we'll meet on next Wednesday. So maybe we can have 1 hour or 2 hour session on Wednesday and go over it and to solidify it, because that's it. Ansible is not very complicated. So we can actually wrap up Ansible on next week because we have to cover more topics.
Okay, so we have class next Wednesday, right?
We have class next Wednesday, and before that, just do some practice. I'll send you an assignment, and same way, you just install a VM and first just do hello world kind of thing. Just print, read about it, and if you have questions, send me email. And assignment maybe I'll send you tomorrow. And same way, we do the assignment and push on the GitHub. Last time, see, only Hassan did assignment. Nobody else did anything. So no magic will happen. I mean, there is no pill that I give you. You take it and you become a programmer. Okay. So let's do at least something. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Bye.